Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Executive with Meg, the Gulf Leaders Circle podcast that brings you exclusive conversations with the most influential C-level executives in the GCC. I'm your host, Meg, and today I'm very excited and honored to introduce my guest, Mr. Moustafa Osman, the country manager of DHL in the Sultanate of Oman. Welcome.
Thank you, Meg. Thank you for having the show.
No, I was actually thinking about it as I started my journey at, MMG and Gulf Leaders Circle. You were actually the very first C-level executive that I've ever conducted an interview with.
Fortunate enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So at least you can give me constructive feedback to
You're
see if
doing
I've
well.
improved.
You're doing well. You're doing fantastic.
I specifically remember during the interview, I was so nervous. I was just holding on to this iPad. I didn't even think I made eye contact with you.
No, but you're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you
well
so
done.
much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's such an honor to have you on my show
The honor
today.
is all mine. Thank you.
So Mr. Osman brings with him 19 years of experience in the logistics and trade industry. So, of course, your career is nothing short of remarkable. And it has taken you from Brussels, Singapore, UAE, and beyond. So please, can you elaborate and explain to our viewers, I'm sure they're eager to know, how has your career trajectory led you to becoming the country manager?
Well, thank you very much for that. I mean, I was fortunate enough to have a good path, I'd say, in my career. It all started back in 2005, I'd say. It's where I started in DHL, my first job, to be honest. So it started in Paris, in CDG, Charles de Gaulle. This was my very, very first job I had in DHL, I remember. It was after actually a 1 year in another oil and gas company. That actually happened really after I finished my studies there. And as you said, it took me from west to east.
Yeah, all over.
And so Oman is my country number 8 that I serve in. I moved actually along the way from positions. So from front line to, back line to middle management to then senior management and then finally into here. I've been fortunate enough to work in almost, all continents, I'd say, Africa, Asia and Europe. I haven't done the Americas yet, but I hope that will
well,
come
I mean,
some point.
with your track record, I'm sure you'll be on your way soon.
I hope so.
So, of course, now with the international experience, how do you think that ultimately impacts your leadership style and, of course, your operations at DHL in Oman?
Well, I think as I said, I was very fortunate to live in multiple countries, and I think being immersed in different cultures and in a big organizations like the one I was lucky enough to work for, I think it shapes us your multicultural management skills, and I think this is one of the most important things when you're working in a multinational, how to deal with different people, different backgrounds, and different beliefs and different practices, and then you get them all together to be able to deliver one goal, which is the organization goal, if you see what I mean. So I think this journey across many countries have given me the opportunity to learn how to deal with different people and get them all together to deliver what we need to deliver. Yeah, I think this is how I can put it best. Yeah.
That's exceptional. And I know you're extremely humble, so I'm going to share this with our audience. So you have a double major in international business and in finance from the Paris Graduate
School of Management.
Yes. This is such a mouthful for me. This is how impressive it is. How do you feel your academic roots play a role in your day-to-day operations?
Well, I mean, it definitely helps, right? It might not help directly because you're not applying what you've studied directly at school into the world of the professional world. But I think education, and this is what I tell to my son, and I tell to all my surrounding, is that good studies will help you. It will shape up your mind and it will shape up your brain to be able to absorb complex subjects and to analyze them, to be able to take good decisions. So I give you for instance, if you're studying mathematics, right, you will be good in numbers. And if you're good in numbers, you'll be able to understand the numbers, the financial statements of a company, analyzing where are the weak points. You will be at ease working with numbers. If you've studied some marketing, for example, you will know how to be able to draft a marketing plan and all of that. So I think, Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky enough to have a good education, I'd say, in Paris, and this is actually not my only one. I've been also a graduate from Université de Cergy-Pontoise, so Cergy-Pontoise University, when I've done actually a licence in mathematics. So I have
Wow.
a little diploma in mathematics as well. Yeah, so I'm very happy with this, and of course, it's helping me a lot in my career.
So, of course, you can clearly do it all. I wanted to ask you, was your degree, did you study it in English or in French?
Well, I mean,
This is more of like a personal question, actually.
No, for sure. No, actually, it's a very interesting question because if you look at it, I mean, I'm originally from Egypt, right? So
Yeah.
I studied in Egypt in a French school, right?
All right.
So I was in a French school until I then traveled to France and to do my high education there. You know, I went to do my university and first degree and then the second degree, and this is where actually I started to study in English, which was very interesting. You know, I went to Paris, I studied 3 years in French and 3 years in English, or
Wow.
two and a half years in English. So I had the big chunk of my studies were in French, but the last 3 years when I particularly was focusing on the international business, and this is where I was studying English, and because of the master's degree and the last year of the bachelor. Yeah.
But that must have also been quite challenging because, of course, like English, on an academic level, it's, I think switching from French to that must have been challenging as well.
I don't know how I did it.
Yeah. No, it's very impressive. Like, honestly, that's why I'm so impressed by your amazing track record.
The
it just keeps getting better.
What's really surprising is actually when I was in Egypt, I mean, Egypt is not very known for being French speaker, country. And then, when sometimes I meet some people, from France or from North Africa, and they'll tell you, Egyptian speaking French. I mean, it's like,
this is
it's a little bit changed, it's a little bit weird, but yeah, I think it was. I was, as I said, fortunate enough to go through this. I mean, thank God for all of that. Yeah.
And of course, any great leader, of course, with the success, there also comes a set of unique challenges and obstacles that you encounter. So can you share with our viewers some of the challenges that you have encountered, and also how would you proceed to overcome them?
Well, I think, challenges, they will never stop. Every day is a challenge, and I think it's the ability of to overcome the challenges that by being resilient, and then being resilient to the challenge and being resilient to the issue and try to overcome it. I don't recall one particular challenge or two because there are so many every day, But I would say is your level of resilience towards any issue and your level of analyzing the issue and understanding and joining the dots together to be able to make the right decision. One thing that really will make me up at night is people. All right. I believe in managing an organization and managing it on the right way, and to be successful, you have to start all with people. So when you have the right people in place, taking care of them, right? I mean, so whether from recruitment side, and then from training side, and then from health and safety side, and all these together, if you have the right people and the right workforce, you will be definitely doing good. But if you don't have the right workforce, this is where you will have to think a lot how you can get it all together. Yeah. So I think for me, one of the big challenges is to have the right workforce in place, happy workforce, motivated, skilled, trained, be able to deliver the job. Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to visit your office last year, and I must tell you, the atmosphere was amazing. All of the staff were incredible. So. Of course, this definitely comes from the top as well.
I'll take it as a good feedback. Thank you. Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, so for the viewers, DHL, the office is amazing.
Thank you.
You can stop by.
Stop by, have a coffee.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I want to go to the topic of COVID, because, of course, the repercussions of COVID is still evident. It's so evident. And the consequences of it within the business landscape. However, DHL was in charge of delivering the COVID-19 vaccines.
Yeah.
So can you also just enlighten our viewers on how did you and your team manage the complexities and ultimately succeed in delivering such a critical project successfully? How did you do that?
Well, I mean, you remind me of very interesting times. Yeah. No, I think first of all, how to put it, we are a group of people here in Oman. We are a unit or a business unit out of a global network. Right, our DHL network is huge. It's 220 countries across the world, and you have more than half a billion people. Actually, I'm sorry, half a million people working there. So 500,000 people working there. So. During the time of COVID, I think the only thing that we were looking at as a whole, as a corporate or as a company, is how to deliver those vaccines and deliver it as fast as it's possible. The other thing as well, it goes very much with our actually slogan, I would say, or our motto in the company is like, what's our vision is, delivering excellence and improving lives and connecting people. And this COVID came directly touched really our core, saying, that we want to improve lives and to want to connect people. Yeah. So we were part of a global network, right? And here in Oman, we have done the maximum that we could in our level. We've been receiving the aircraft. So we had the DHL aircraft landing here on 5 times a week. The important thing was, or the main challenge was that you get the vaccines directly from the aeroplane directly into the health centers. And we were in a very good coordination with the Ministry of Health. And I would like to thank all of them, to be honest, because they have done an extremely good job. And the coordination was just, superior. And they have enabled us to do our job. Our people as well played a good role because they were not delay a minute to deliver the vaccine, especially that those vaccines were transported in a degree of minus 70 degrees Celsius box. You imagine you open it, there are lots of oxygen coming out of it, and really, it's really white coming out of it. So it was really very specific and very, very complex kind of transportation. We were actually here served by the Europe distribution center. So for us, we would be monitoring the shipment from the time it gets picked up from, the company that's producing there till here until the health center. So. It was challenging time, but it was good time. That this is the time where you get all together. All the people get together, the ministry, the management, the staff, and all get together to deliver. And then when you get to next day in the news and you hear about, Oman has received that amount of vaccines, you feel like, okay, I've done my job now. I've done our job now. Exactly, right. No, but we've done that job, to be honest, most important, because at that time you see people, wanting to have the vaccine to be able to travel.
Of course,
I do remember quite well the time of this, having the PCRs and all of that. So people were really looking for the vaccine, and it was very important to limit the impact of the COVID. So we were very fortunate to be critical, player in this one.
Most definitely. And how long? What was the time frame or how long with the COVID vaccines to deliver it? How long did that take, an estimate?
We have delivered more than 1 billion vaccine in a matter of, I think, 10 months or 11 months, something like that. I mean, I don't have the number, but I think it was more than 1 billion vaccine in 12 months' time. And I think we were very happy about it, and we were very proud of it.
Yes.
About it. Yeah. Our chairman, I remember at that point of time saying, we've done exactly what we say we are doing, is that connecting people and improving lives. And this is really a good example of how DHL Group is actually delivering things that improve people's lives. So it was around 11 months for more than 1 billion shipments. 1 billion vaccine.
So another award that DHL received was the Gold Stevie Award.
Yes.
So firstly, before we get into more details, can you just enlighten our listeners as to what is this award exactly? How is the process of selecting the companies?
Well, I mean, it's the Stevie Awards is actually, it all works with the quality. So they look at your processes, right? I mean, in every department, and how well you are an organization of managing the people, and then they start managing and they start assessing, and they benchmark you across all the other companies. We've been fortunate enough to be, to win multiple. So it goes by function. It can go by for the commercial function, or can go by operation or customer service, or it's actually managed. It actually assesses the quality the work you do. And we've been fortunate enough to be multiple times, actually, Stevie gold and, Stevie, sometimes silver in multiple functions, so whether in customer service or in commercial or in operations. So, yeah, I mean, I think we have a good quality service, or I'm sure we have a good quality service, one of the best quality service providers in the world. We are actually aiming to be the same here in Oman, and this is what we've been doing for the last, 40 plus years in Oman. But I would like to take this opportunity to say one more thing. It's not only, Stevie awards that we're taking, we are also the second best place to work in Oman. So there is this global great place to work, survey that goes out and tells you based on our employees' feedback. Then we the surveyor will benchmark companies together, and actually in 2024 we are the second best place to work in the Sultanate, and it's just amazing for us. So we're very happy to be able to deliver this to our people and deliver good working environments alongside with a great service quality for our customers.
No, I mean, like I said, I could definitely see it once I step foot into your
Very
office.
good. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the diversification of Oman's economy. So, of course, this aligns strongly with DHL's mission. So, how are you planning to contribute to this plan?
Well,
the vision of Oman?
it's a very good question, and actually, I'm very happy that DHL is completely aligned. I mean, completely aligned to Oman Vision 2040, and this shows that how the decision makers and putting putting the strategies together. They are really aligned without being aligned.
Sure.
That's the point. So Oman 2040 vision, right? It works a lot on diversification of revenue sources, right? One of the top items there is actually logistics. So Oman looks at becoming a regional hub or a regional logistics hub that serves the different mode of transportation. Leveraging so many things, to be honest, leveraging the good geographical position of Oman, which is fantastic. Actually, it's like a very great spot of the world to be operated as a hub for logistics to serve the world, and also I think it's a very good place where it's geopolitically it's very stable. So. I think we are part of that, and we have actually put together a good business case that has been approved, and we are actually going to invest around 35 million riyals at the airport. So we are currently, as we speak, we're building a 15,000 square meter facility that will be serving as a small hub for the express and international shipments to connect Oman into to the map of DHL, to the 100 to 120 hub countries and many gateways that we have across the world. So this is how we are actually contributing. We are believing in this goal, and we're believing in this vision, and we believe also that this will help a lot in the flow of goods, from Asia to the West Africa to the GCC, and so we as in the logistics provider, I mean, we are into that and making that. I think by next year, early next year, the facility will be up and running, and it's expected to manage a little bit more than a million shipment a year or so.
And of course, within the logistics and trade sector, it's very dynamic, rapid, ever-changing. So innovation is key. So can you please elaborate on some of the recent initiatives that ultimately showcase DHL Oman's commitment to staying at the forefront of these sectors?
All right, very good question. Digitalization is, I would say, it's one of the key elements of DHL agenda or DHL strategy 2025. And I'm sure it will be rolled out rolled over basically to 2030.
Okay.
So we look at actually improving our digitizing or automating our processes to be able to serve better our people, right? So we are automating the process internally for our people, automating the processes for our customers, and also, for our providers as well, and our service providers. So, innovation is everywhere. We have this initiative that's called the Top 10 Digi initiatives globally. So every year we take actually a top 10 digital or digitalization initiatives, and we start to develop them further. Can give you some examples of what we're doing. It's like, for example, when you're receiving a shipment, you will be receiving a kind of link in your mobile asking you exactly how you want to deliver it, where you want to be delivered, and whether are you okay. It's called an on-demand delivery, and this basically to a little bit help on the last mile delivery part. Also providing some automation for our people to be able to do their daily requirements, whether like we require something from the company, letters or whatever. It's all automated. And also our internal procedures, so operations to be more efficient. We are investing a lot in that one. Maybe last but not least is, DHL Group has its own innovation center. So we have what we call the DHL Innovation Center that is actually in 3 places in the world. We have one in Dubai that's been recently opened maybe a few years ago.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. It shows how we are actually doing the R&D in the world of logistics and see how we can go to the next level. I mean, when I go there, sometimes I feel like I'm in a Star Wars movie, right? I mean, it's really, it's how the drones are becoming now into the game for delivering, how, robotics being utilized for the supply chain and the warehousing. They're doing a fantastic job. I love going there. So it's one of three places across the world. There's one in the US, one in Asia, and one in Dubai. And this is where all the research happens.
That's incredible. And what would be like your thoughts on implementing AI in all of these processes? Because I know AI could either be like it can be a touchy subject, right? Some people agree with it, some do not. So what would be your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it's part of the future. I mean, it has to be, if you're not on the right bus now and with AI, it reminds me, I keep saying it to my surroundings. It reminds me of 20 years ago when Microsoft was introducing first PowerPoint and Excel. If you didn't know how to work on Excel or PowerPoint, you were actually, below, you're behind the curve.
Yeah, you ultimately get left behind.
So AI is going to be a tool that you will need to be utilizing, right, to make sure that you're getting the best output. It might actually, cancel some of the repetitive jobs, but we will need those people to do other actually jobs that requires more brain and all of that. AI also is a very good improvement tool because it improves communication. It improves, as I said, repetitive tasks. So we already started to work with AI. So internally in our internal processes, we are actually embedding the AI in different areas, like the customer service, for example, and the way we communicate with customer, in our sales and in commission, the way we're promoting our services. And it is there. And I think it's a very good tool and a very good initiative, but that has to be properly utilized.
Most definitely. Yeah. I think this is just a personal opinion. I think the sector that would be most threatened by it would be the education system or sector. But yeah, ultimately it does save so much time. Yeah. And
to be honest, all sectors will benefit because this is technology, and technology will serve every, imagine you have a job that is a repetitive task that is done every 2 seconds and you have to do it by a person, or for example, improving certain communication or certain research. I think it helps a lot. It's just that how you will deploy this technology in your particular field, whether education, logistics, might be in healthcare as well. So everywhere, it will be definitely benefiting from the AI technology.
No, I 100% agree with you. So the next topic, it's something that is so widely discussed, not only in the GCC, but on an international level, sustainability. Yeah. So can you please give us a little sneak peek into DHL's sustainability goals in Oman specifically?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I said, Oman is part of a global network, so we go with the global agreed one. We're very particular on our sustainability agenda. Our goals that we set for what we call the ESG agenda, so environmental, social, and governance, is going on track. On the environmental part is, of course, is the whole idea of decarbonization and in line with the Paris Climate, Committee and the Global Committee for the climate change. We are actually, as a company, we are committed to zero CO2 emission by 2050. We
Yeah.
have set to ourselves very, very tough targets. You know, we are working with aeroplanes, with vans, with trucks. We have facilities to operate in. So we are actually utilizing lots of energy. So one of the things really to work on the environmental part is that how we will improve our three elements where we utilize big energy. So if you look at aviation part, our DHL aviation, right? We are looking at sustainable fuel. So what we call the sustainable fuel, the SAF. And for example, electrifying even our airplanes. So we have the first electric aeroplane called Alice. That has been
Alice.
actually, yeah, you can Google it. It's a very interesting one. It looks nice. It's actually in the US. It's been trialed in the US and
Okay.
it's working. You have also, as I said, looking at less CO2 emissions fuel. I think this year we close on a very good note. I think we close around 2 or 3 million tons less than emissions than
Wow.
what we've done last year. It's been just published in the group results. Electrifying our last mile delivery and our trucks on the ground. So using more electric vehicles. So Oman fleet will be upgraded actually in the next couple of months, and we are looking at welcoming the first couple of electric vehicles. In Europe and in the US and some of the other regions, we already deployed. So
Of course.
Europe is already 100% electric. I'd say it's 95%. We're still a little bit behind the curve, but we are catching up quickly. And by next year we'll be doing that. Also, last but not least, the solar energy, right? So the alternative energy, and I think Oman is being very very sunny.
Of course.
And we are very lucky to have the sun.
Except the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I was so shocked by
Except
the
the last 2
amount
weeks,
of rain.
exactly, yeah.
It felt like I was in Europe for 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
besides that, the weather's always great.
So our facility, the new facility we're building up that I just mentioned in the beginning of the show, actually it's going to be all covered by solar panels. So
Okay,
we'll be able
fantastic.
to create electricity from the sun. And these are the things that we're doing, and these are part of what we call clean operations or green operations across the world. Other than that, of course, we have some focus on the social part, which is the diversity of the people inside.
Sure.
We have lots of programs like I Belong and women in leadership. I'm very happy to say that I've got 30% of our workforce is females, and I have 2 out of 7 in the management board are actually females. So I'm very happy of that as well. So it's part of the global goals that we do. The diversification in general, and the I belong kind of idea. And of course, governance to ensure that we are a compliant company, compliant for our providers and compliant for our shareholders to ensure that people are investing in the right company. So
Of
put
course.
it this way. Yeah.
And I remember when I visited your office last year, you showed me the electric scooter.
Yes.
So can you give me an update on what is happening with it? Is it like, when is it being launched? What's happening?
Well, I mean, there is an idea of launching it actually in somewhere in the closed complexes.
Okay.
We're still actually waiting for the rest of the shipment to arrive. I mean, for the supplier to provide us. This is actually ongoing as well. So this was a sample, and we are in progress with that one. I think it's going to be happening in the maybe the last week of May. We will start getting the first 4 bicycles in.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And which areas do you plan on?
Small areas, small
Okay.
complexes. So small complexes, like if you talk about universities, for example, or talk about small complex like Al Mouj,
Al Mouj, yeah.
or a certain or similar. This is where we will be utilizing more this.
Okay, because I'm very excited to see them. I still have the picture that I took, and I'm so excited to see them.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, so how does DHL plan to track the progress and, of course, measure the impact of its sustainability initiatives in Oman?
Well, I mean, we have the reporting. We have the ESG reporting that's happening actually on monthly basis. We also have
monthly.
we have also yearly reports that we provide to everyone. I think we're tracking, so it's all getting reported, all getting captured, whether on the capex that the money that we spend on electrifying or diversifying or being compliant. So we have proper ESG reporting that is going to our investors and to our management, and it's there as part of our daily, monthly, and yearly monitoring. Yeah.
And with regards to your business relationships in Oman with different companies, how are you ensuring that this is transparent in terms of these sustainability efforts?
Well, I think it's we are actually promoting currently, with our partners in Oman, our clients, and actually we're promoting what we call the Go Green Plus. So
Okay.
Go Green Plus, it's a product that help actually the customers to contribute also to the sustainability and the environmental part. So, we have already signed with some of the big names. And I'll tell you that the Oman also is very interested in, with all the subjects of decarbonization and the hydrogen part. And actually, Oman is as a whole, I think the country and the economy is very vigilant about the fact that this is a very important element, and so our customers are being understanding. So we're promoting this when we meet them. Whether it's through our sales force or through our customer service agents or myself when I meet any of my partners there, we talk about that, and I tell you it's very much welcome. They are contributing to us buying better fuel for the environment, a sustainable air fuel, and this product is called Go Green Plus and is going on. So this is how we are actually engaging with our business partners on the sustainability element as well.
Okay, so the last question.
Yeah.
Okay, so of course, Mr. Osman, as the country manager, what can the audience expect in terms of the future developments or announcements for sustainability, the goals of DHL?
Well, I mean, I think there are a couple of them. One is the DHL is coming up with a very nice luxury, I would say, completely sustainable facility at the airport. It's going to be one of the landmarks at the airport, I would say.
Definitely.
And very happy about it. It's a big investment, and that will help us actually providing better service for our market, for our Oman market here. This is one of the things. Expect this to happen by Q1 2025, and please pass by and you will love it. Yeah, you will love it. Yeah. So it's going to be a very innovative facility. Solar panel, energized, I would say, so this is one of the things that really we're busy with now, currently working on. And secondly, I mean, just improving our processes and services every day to ensure that we meet the requirement that we have, especially for the e-commerce industry. So all e-commerces, reach out. We will be able to take you global. So we have lots of innovation that's happening in this area that's very easy to use. And this is where really we're focusing on these days, on the SME part and the e-commerce specifically, promoting the products of Oman outside in the world. So these are really the two things that maybe I would want to share with your audience today.
Well, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, Mr. Osman.
Thank you very much.
Like I said, it's such an honor to have you as my second guest and the first CEO that I've ever interviewed.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate it.
The honor is all mine.
So
Thank you for having me here. It was a great morning. Thank you very much, Meg.